то время, когда крупных метрополий, епархий.
Che cosa il Signore ci chiede di fare?
Among the Italian candidates, one has to consider Cardinal Mateo Zuppi. He is not only the head of the Italian bishops and has that weight behind him, but he has also been chosen and tapped personally by Pope Francis to bring his message of peace in Ukraine. This means he went to Beijing, he went to Moscow, he went to the United States and Washington and met with the president. He went to Ukraine, of course. He has traveled to various crucial places in the church and worldwide, and he has become an advocate for peace. Let's not forget another thing about Mateo. Mateo, the cardinal, also has the powerful movement of Sant'Egidio behind him. This is an organization that was born in Rome from a small group of people and now is one of the most influential lay movements in the church, and that should not be underestimated.
I profughi non sono numeri.
Well, known as the Pope Francis of Asia, Cardinal Tagle of the Philippines has always been a recurring candidate. Now, his star has sort of waned a little bit through the pontificate. He had an unfortunate appointment as the head of Caritas Internationalis, the international organization that does the Vatican and the Catholic Church's charity worldwide. He was essentially dethroned from that position and set aside, yet his outspokenness in terms of welcoming language and inclusion of LGBTQ Catholics, of divorce and remarried Catholics, of promoting the position of women in the church, still makes him a likely candidate for progressives in the church who want to see Pope Francis's vision continue in the next decade. The church is going to be very polarized during the conclave, that is for sure. And when we think about the conservative camp, Cardinal Erdo of Budapest is definitely going to be a very important candidate. This is because he was selected in a way by the late Cardinal George Pell to be the voice of the conservative faction in the church. He was a JP2 prelate. He is loyal to the tradition of the church, but at the same time, he's been sort of media shy, avoiding controversy while maintaining a very good relationship with Pope Francis and the Vatican.
أديب حنا جبرائيل المدير المالي
Caritas Tanger, Maroc.
Another conservative prelate that we have to mention is Cardinal Sarah. Now, Cardinal Sarah is still a conservative, very much so, but off-center. As an African cardinal from Kenya, this means that he can bring a very different perspective, and especially the very underrepresented Church of Africa, which is a growing Catholic church, and he can present these conservative positions, for example, on LGBTQ issues, on women, on divorced and remarried Catholics having access to the communion.
Buenos días, señor presidente. Mucho gusto.
When we think of the Vatican Curia, we have to talk about Cardinal Pietro Parolin, a consistent possibility as the next pope. Pietro Parolin visits and meets with every bishop, every priest. Anyone who wants to get to Pope Francis has to go through him. His tenure so far has been pretty much scandal-free. He has managed to even navigate some of the financial scandals that have somewhat shaken his own department. But he has come out with barely a scratch, and probably the biggest challenge to his candidacy as the next pope for this polyglot diplomat cardinal is the relationship between the Vatican and China.
Jelajahi cara baru mendapatkan informasi. Download Metro TV Extend sekarang.